honestly.
I love cutting my own grass, and that's as far as golf professional as I get.
Yeah, all I can picture is just getting the scissors out for the golf greens. It's just like snip, snip.
I would be
Getting
like a
that cut.
Happy Gilmore style of golfing. I think that's where my speed is, to be honest.
Well, pretty successful, I think. I don't know, there's like a couple movies about it. Welcome back to another episode with Alec and Brea on Branching Out. We're very excited to bring you today a couple of golf course professionals, actually. So it's going to be a good one because neither Brea or I are super familiar with golf courses. Our first guest, because we're going to have two today, so that's our first venture into two, is Mark Beck. So Mark Beck is an Alberta-based entrepreneur and operator with over 25 years of experience building and scaling businesses. So he's more of the business management side of things, but across construction, heavy equipment, landscaping, hospitality, training, and real estate. He oversees multiple operating companies and is known for driving operational efficiency, workforce development, and practical results. So he has actually quite a few companies, I think, mainly just in the Edmonton area. So the topic we're going to be conversing most about is his golf course, Cattail Crossing, which is also operates as like separate business, but it's obviously attached to it is their Out of Bounds restaurant with the famous Chef Julie that we're going to learn more about. HML Landscape, and then kind of like a general contracting GCS, I believe, and Omnia Training. So yeah, wonderful host of businesses there. Seems like a pretty busy guy. And also joining us will be his golf professional, Jason Wiwad. So he's been with Cattail here for a few years now, and he's kind of the creative genius behind a lot of their driving forces that we're excited to talk with you guys about. So yeah, let's get into it. Thank you, Jason and Mark, for joining us today. This is actually going to be our first episode where we have two people on the call, so that'll be a first exciting endeavor for us. So yeah, thank you again for taking all the time. Well, let's jump right into it. I'm excited to learn a little bit more about the golf course. It's been a while since I've worked on one, and I was a lowly whippersnapper trimming trees. If you guys can kind of answer, how did you get introduced into the green industry? Have you always kind of thought this was going to be your path, or did you kind of fall into it?
Do you want to hear the true story, or should I just make up?
I know we're looking for truth.
We were on a houseboat with our family, and our friend Gord Shamahorn gave us a call from Elite Sportswear. I've known him for a lot of years, and he's like, "Hey, I got a huge opportunity. Do you want to buy a golf course?" And I was like, "You know what? Yeah, it sounds pretty cool." But I think I had a few drinks in me time, and I said, we'll just talk more when we got back." And so he went back, and I went back, got back to Edmonton, and then Gord drove me around, showed me the golf course, and he said, "This is it." And I said, "Okay, so what's the problems?" And he's like, "I don't know, but it's pretty cheap. We can get this place for, and I think you could turn it around." And I said, "Okay." And so then I went and met the owner, which I thought was the owner at the time, but it wasn't. And it was actually just the guy that was a leaseholder, that his lease was coming up. And so I asked him if I can go for a drive with his greenskeeper. And I went for a drive, and we drove for 2 days and wrote down all the issues on the course. They hadn't done barely any maintenance in about 15 years on that course. So yeah, we drove around and wrote down all the problems. And I went and looked at the clubhouse and kind of put the best price I could at the time, to figure out how much it was going to cost to clean this place up, to turn it around so we can do a lot of events and weddings and whatnot. And then what happened next? I talked to my business partner, KC. Actually, he's beside me here. I'm in his office. And I said, "What do you think about buying a golf course?" And he's like, "Oh, are you serious right now?" I said, "Listen, I went through the whole course for 2 days, 3 days, and basically went through all the issues, and we can fix every one of these issues. It's going to take some time to get it back to, in good shape," which we're still doing that every day. And then, yeah, so we discussed the budget. We kind of talked it over for a couple of weeks. I said it was going to be $1.1 million to fix this whole place, because we can do a lot of stuff internally and fix all the issues on the course internally, and ended up being 1.7. And then we opened up a golf course. Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Talk about
the houseboat.
Yeah, I was gonna say, all starting on a houseboat, enjoying the summer weather.
Yeah. Well, we opened it up during COVID too. So that was right at the end of COVID. And we knew golf had a big turnaround during COVID. And so we figured everything would be good. And we wanted to get a restaurant going. We used to own restaurants and bars when we were young. And so we called the restaurant a separate name. We called it Out of Bounds. And at the time we were looking for a chef. And I don't know if you guys know much about Larry Stewart. He owned the Hardware Grill.
No, not very well.
Hardware Grill was downtown in Jasper, and was one of the biggest and best restaurants around. And he had to shut down his restaurant due to a few issues. And then he said, "I'll come over and be your head chef." So the place was really, really busy, and it was going really. I don't know, Jay. I don't know if you were there exactly at that time.
I was there.
Yeah, you were. It was really busy, and things were going great. But then COVID shut us down again. So then we had to shut down the restaurant, which really hurt in our first year of business. So we couldn't really get any compensation for that. And yeah, we basically, I think golf, they shut us down to only families. I think it was at the time, Jay.
Well, yeah, people that were in the same household.
That's what it was. So we kind of took a bath that year. I think we went negative $400,000 in debt on top of the 1.7. So things weren't looking good for our first year. And then everything turned over actually the second and third and fourth year.
Oh, that's awesome to hear. Yeah, I haven't had the pleasure of going to the course. So now after this, I'm excited to go. Do you still have the chef from Jasper there? Or?
What's that? No, Larry's not there anymore. He retired. And now we have actually still a really good chef. Her name's Chef Julia, and she is unreal. And we have really, really good food there. And yeah, the reviews will kind of explain itself there.
Well, obviously, I expect I'll go there and say, "Hey, Chef Julia, I actually had your boss on a podcast, so I'm expecting some cool stuff here." Yeah, 100%. Yeah, obviously, Mark, you own quite a few companies. Besides, I guess, since owning the golf course, was there something that made it more than just a business to you? Like, was there something that you kind of fell in love with owning a golf course, or is it kind of more of just another venture in your cap?
It was another business for me for sure. And basically, I wanted to do something like when we owned some restaurants and bars years ago, I failed at one, and I had another opportunity to try to make this one work. And so I had a good reason to give her a shot again. And then the golf course, I was just, after seeing all the issues, like I think, Jay, we came in there, I think we had 30 to 40 guys, not even including the renovation inside the building. And we were able to fix up a lot of issues right away. Like Jay, I don't know if Jay was there for that part, but.
Yeah, so I kind of mine was a little different. I'll be honest, I don't know if this is funny, but I came on as the teaching pro, and I remember the first time I was asked to come out to the golf course, I'm like, where is this place and what am I going to? And I'd been to the golf course, which is literally half a mile away from us 20 times, and I didn't even know Cattail had existed. And I know, when you talk about the initially fall in love, the thing for me that was attractive as a golf professional was the perspective of the ownership and how they wanted to build something in terms of not just a golf course, but a restaurant and a winter club and the whole thing. And it was so refreshing being in the golf industry for maybe 15 years before that, to have something just brand new from the ground up to be a part of. And it's been awesome. And it's great to see where we've come. So yeah, it's been really good that way.
Kind of to build off that, because I was cruising through your website and you guys do some really cool stuff like Glow Golf. I've actually had some like former teammates that have been at your course to do that. And yeah, you have a ton of stuff going on in the winter. Was that always the game plan, or was that more of a, hey, we got to, capitalize on having less downtime, like both in season, but also in the winter?
Yeah.
How did that come up as an idea?
I've been in business for a while, and I don't agree with laying on anybody. I never have. I don't like to do it. And if I'm going to run a business, we're going to keep it all year round, because once you find a good team and good people, you don't really want to part ways with them. And so we had to come up with creative ideas of what we could do in the winters and keeping it an all-around year club. But we had the big pond there, so we knew hockey. Jay was great, because Jay's actually a former hockey coach. He's also done some mental skills with the kids, and working with kids. So Jay's had a lot of creative ideas there for us to keep that place busy going all year round. I think last year or the year before we did the outdoor mini golf. So I think that was Jason's idea, which was really cool. He built 18 holes out of snow, and we set up forums and everything else, and we did a bunch of work, and realizing how we did it before to how we do it now is a lot different. And it was great for a little bit, but then it became -30 and nobody was coming, and then it became +4, and then our greens were melting. So we've tried numerous ideas. I don't know. We've had a lot of stuff with the sleigh rides out there. We have cross-country skiing. We got the off-leash dog park on the ice. We've done a few different.
We had ice tennis for a while. It's funny. Mark would mention that. It's amazing actually how a lot of those things kind of came about. My goal was just to grab a couple 2x4s, build some snow forms, flood it, and make a nice mini golf. This is Mark's genius. He's the kind of visionary. He's like, no, let's get 2 competing landscaping companies to come out and build 9 holes each. I think that's what happened, correct?
Yeah, you're right. That was
and they it was one of the greatest mini golf courses I've ever seen. There was like different characters, like a whale on one hole. They even had the snow thing that you could fire the ball around, and like it was just, I had never seen anything ever before like this, and it was unbelievable. So it's kind of a how things have kind of taken off there. When an idea comes up, we just take it to the next level. So that's what's amazing too. So
we've had numerous golf courses call us and ask us how we did it, and we're not giving away our recipes. So
well, secret is kind of safe on a podcast, I guess, but that's incredible. We just won't tell them any details besides the whale.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm really curious now, ice tennis. How does that work?
It's exactly like tennis, but on skates.
Oh, it's
yeah. So I watched it, and I'm like, and I coached hockey and did skills. I'm like, I'd break my ankles doing that, because you're going one way on the ice, and you got to stop or glide really quick, and then try and get that ball. And yeah, we did curling too.
Curling, yeah.
Do you always introduce new things every winter now that you've had a few winters in, or are you starting to kind of figure out like a regular program?
It's kind of weather dependent too. Like I tried to get the mini golf course going this year. I've spent tons of time on it, and it was great. And then it started to melt, and then it froze, and then we couldn't even form the holes. And it's just, sometimes you're always at the behest of Mother Nature for the most part, right? And so you try your best to get the cross-country skiing going, the golf going, and you hope for the best. And right now we're just at skating and dog park, and we're trying to keep the ice. We have a couple events here coming up, and so with this warm weather, we're just going to start flooding next week and get the ice back going, so it'll be great.
Just had the Edmonton Minor Hockey League. They signed up with us for the next few years here, and they're doing their event there. They've done the last 2 years. I think the first year we had 6,200 people in 2 days, and then the second one was a couple weeks back there. We did 4,800 people. So it's pretty crazy. Yeah, I think we had 15 rinks, and so we had
15 rinks,
15. We had 10 we were using, and then we just keep on rotating, try to keep fresh ice, because the weather wasn't that bad that day, was it?
No, it was good.
Yeah.
This might be the only golf course that might be having busier days in the winter than they do in season. That's incredible.
Yeah. It's amazing you say that. From a logistics standpoint, we have never had it. We had a farmer's field that we cleared out with parking, and our whole lot was full. Like, sure, when you have a tournament and a wedding at the same time, it can get pretty busy in the parking lot, but nothing like this. Like Mark said, there might be 3,000 to 4,000 people there at one time on this, down on the ice. And so, yeah, it was great. And Hockey Edmonton loved it. It just came about. We were talking about what can we give kids that only get one game in minor hockey week. And they're like, hey, let's give them an outdoor game, because for all of us, that's what we grew up on. So the parents come down and they love it because it reminds them of their childhood. So it's a great event.
All just because you're powering some seemingly crazy ideas at the beginning. That's awesome. I love that. Ice tennis. I'm not going to get over that.
Well, I got to ask about the glow golf. Like, who came up? Because I feel like that is that is an out of box idea. Like I don't think you can even see the box anymore. That's a pretty.
Well,
That's pretty
I
cool.
think Jason,
it was
where did that come from? I can't remember.
Yeah, it was
the guy that
we
kind
had
of
a tournament.
approached us, right, or something like that.
Yeah, and then I'm like, well, you know what? We're paying this guy to come out and set up the course. Why don't we do it ourselves? And why don't we do it more than once? Like a lot of golf courses will try it once, but you know this comes into kind of what we were getting into, and the vision from the ownership to just be a little bit different. Why wouldn't you try it? And now we have it every second Friday, and we're even putting it on Saturdays because the demand for it is so much greater. And so we have glow-in-the-dark flag sticks. We have markers that line the fairways. The balls are glow-in-the-dark. The tee boxes are lit up. And it's exactly us, but it's a different atmosphere than any other kind of golfing thing, because a lot of people don't feel, I get this as a teaching professional, worthy to be out on a golf course because they don't think their game is good enough. But when it's night golf, no one can see you. You're out in the dark. And I knew it was going to be a success because the very first year we did it, my wife, who we've been married for 24 years, has never asked to golf at all. And she's like, can you book me a foursome for this night golf? Just because her and her friends just wanted to go out and play night golf, because it's just a different thing altogether. And for us, we have unused tee times all night long, so we could go as much as we could fill it. But people just love it. They come out. It's a great experience. You know, it's a little different. We don't have the full course set up, like from tee box to green. We have them about 300 yards to, you know, par 3 things just to keep the flow going. But yeah, it's been one of our big things. And like I said, it's unused revenue or untapped revenue. And a lot of courses are calling now, hey, where do you get the flags? Where do you get this? Actually, it's curious, because of the tariffs, the place that I buy all our stuff from is closed in Canada now. So we're going to be sourcing our flags and balls and stuff from somewhere else.
Sounds like it's a good opportunity to maybe start making your own and start selling to everyone else.
Could be. We'll see.
I just heard this.
Yeah. No, it's been good. Mark's writing it down as we speak.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Mark, when we look at your portfolio and all the things you have going on, I'm like, do you have time to add another? Like, how do you juggle it all?
I have good people that work where I work with. And I actually just got my first personal executive assistant. She's actually right there. It's Amanda. So she set me up the computer. I came running down here to do that. So she's been pretty busy. It's been good.
Yeah, it's incredible. You know, you always hear like the old adages of time is money, and you guys really stretch that limit. I'd say, like, you're basically 24/7, 365. It's incredible how much you can maximize your time in a day. Sure, Jason sounds like he's a pretty busy fellow.
Oh, he is. Love it.
Yeah.
That's my personality. I love going. My wife's like, you got to settle down. I'm like, no, I'm ready to go.
I got glow in the dark.
Oh yeah, I get home at about 3:00 in the morning. So it's fun, but it's great. I love it. I wouldn't change it. It's one of my favorite things we do at Cattail, for sure. I love it. So our staff's like, why do you like this so much? I'm like, I love it. It's great. Just come out and experience it. If you guys get a chance, come out and try it. Bring some people out, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's a great vibe. We got music playing and the beer carts out there and all that. So it's great.
Alec, this is our second field trip for branching.
I was
yeah.
just gonna say it. I really like the undercover of darkness thing, because I am a good proponent of not hitting things in a straight line. So
yeah, I'm a strong mini golfer and a strong driving range, and you put them together, it does not marry well at all.
Trying to sell you on it, but Jason is a golf pro. He could teach you that. He can correct those things.
I know, like, this is a one-stop, like, fix all the things and have fun doing it.
yeah, so do that, Jason.
So, like, night golf lessons, that would be amazing. The balls are $11 a piece, so it might be a little difficult, but
yeah, Jason, obviously you said you've been in the industry for a while. What was it like switching, I guess, from a more traditional golf course to now like you said, obviously you're very passionate about all the endeavors you guys are doing. But yeah, talk about that change, because it's pretty far from the run-of-the-mill stuffy golf course, I would
Well,
say.
it's funny you say that.
Jay?
Huh?
Did you want me to put my cups on?
Yeah.
You could tell
No,
the truth.
no, 100%. I'll be honest. For me, it's refreshing. So I get a lot of my friends who are in the industry and people that I've worked with in the past that are like, I can't believe you guys are doing all this stuff. But it's because the majority, like you say, just have done the same thing over and over and over and over. And like it or not, golf has changed. The business of golf has changed. The landscape of golf has changed. I get a lot of people thanking me that we have winter activities, and a lot of people in the industry that go, I can't believe everyone else isn't utilizing the properties that they have, right? Because their staff are employed year round too. And I always got this question, what do you do at, whatever course you're at in the winter? You must just spend the winter in Florida and whatever. And there wasn't a lot to do, as a golf professional over our winters. You're planning tournaments and getting your membership all ready to go and printing off stuff and cleaning the clubhouse 10,000 times. But, to be able to think outside the box and have some different things, for me, it's challenged me, of course, but it's really good because it's not the same thing. I think if you know my personality, just having the status quo is just, I don't get fired up for that. So different things, as it is a little stretching. Like sometimes you wish you could just go back to like just kind of sitting, well, not Florida, but just kind of sitting around and whatever. But that would drive me crazy after about a day and a half. So, having something coming up all the time, for me, it just works really well. So, but yeah, it's the industry, once again, is built in a certain way. And I think being able to try a bunch of different things has been good. Don't get me wrong. We've crashed and burned on some of them too. But you know what? At least we're trying, right? We're trying to think outside the box. And when you get success on night golf, it's because of that, right? And we have groups now approaching us to do night golf tournaments. Like if you're going to plan a tournament and you can do something like that because it's all about the fun, which what golf should be, why not? So yeah, no, it's been great. I wouldn't trade it for anything. The experience and the things that I've learned, it's gold. I love it. So
It's cool that you guys really do think out of the box, and it also leads to being almost creating golf to be a bit more accessible. Because like you said, a lot of people have this idea of golf is kind of like prim and proper, and that you have to be at a certain caliber, et cetera, et cetera. And you guys seem to really be putting like the fun into golf and making it so that you just want to go and you're not worried about, am I good enough? So that's really exciting. I got to ask, because like Alec and I are both in this industry where it's very seasonal, and I don't know about Alec, but I do look forward to winter when it calms down just a little bit. Like I'm so busy quoting and estimating and getting things ready for the next season. Do you guys feel like, how do you navigate that, all like a busy schedule, and avoid kind of burning out, because you guys kind of seem to be going all the time, no matter the season, no matter the weather?
good question. Mark's taught me a lot on that. I've had to really grow in that, and it's just about having the right systems and making sure that we're on the ball and not just like, end of March going, all right, what are we doing for this golf course here? But making sure that planning's going on while you're trying to, execute on what you're currently doing, what's coming up next on the calendar, whether it be a Christmas party or a hockey tournament or a whatever. And then I appreciate that you'd bring that up. And I'll be honest, what makes Cattail special is we've really tried to be a place where everybody feels welcome. I'm a teacher. That's my passion. I love teaching golf. We have an amazing junior program called Op 36, but we work with school groups. And once again, there's this, I actually just talked with a lady who is bringing our community golf program out to us to just get a lesson. They get a meal, and then they do 9 holes, and these kids never get the opportunity to get access to a golf course. And that's due to the vision from our ownership group to want to be a place where people can belong at Cattail. Because you're right, And I don't think other golf courses try to make it this way. I know that for a fact, but people don't feel like they belong or are welcome a lot of the time at a golf course. Like they do, but they don't. And we really want them to understand that you have a place here out at Cattail, and regardless of your skill level, regardless of whatever. And what's been great is to be able to see people grow, even out of those community programs. I was coaching at a tournament, and one of the kids that was involved in that community program was playing competitive golf in a tournament. And he started for 3 years out at Cattail. We had it was called Warrior Golf Program for the Indigenous kids. And he just came out as a young kid and started golfing in that, once a week. He got a meal, he loved it. And now he's trying to be competitive and golf. And so that's the benefit of what we're trying to do. And that vision comes from our ownership for sure. So.
That's, yeah, I'm almost at a loss. Like so far from the traditional, box. Like you said, I don't even know what box or where it went. That's crazy.
Well, you guys really sound like you put community and connection is an important piece. Like obviously you want the business to succeed. Like if you're not making money, it's really hard to continue like those core values, but just based on your programming and the success and even the failures, like I think it's so incredible that you guys are willing to take that risk and see where it takes you and how you could tweak it and make it better the next time. And these programs that you have to make golf accessible, I think is amazing and astounding.
Maybe a bit more of we'll go back to some more traditional stuff. What ways do you think, I guess, the industry is evolving, new trends emerging, returning to old trends? Obviously, you guys are kind of blazing the trail for a few of your own trends, but more, I guess, your 9-to-5 golf course, whacking the ball on green stuff. Is there kind of, returning to trends there or starting some new ones, if you want to kind of speak to that?
Mark, go.
No. That's all you, Jay. You're like, for golf. I'm going to say that.
Yeah, once again, it's just trying to manage, and you're right. The balance act is, I need to make Mark money or I'm not going to be there either. But how do we stay true to who we are and do that? And you're right. The industry, I think the industry is evolving. For sure, you see it everywhere, whether it be just how tournaments are being run. Some courses are getting to the point where they're very tournament focused, where in the past you'd limit how many tournaments you'd have. In terms of the old trends, I think COVID did kind of create a little bit of a disruption. And I think everyone in the golf industry has had to look at themselves, look internally and go, all right, what can we do to try to generate more? We have a couple things. We've just, once again, if you look as a golf professional, I know this isn't the easiest thing because you don't want to overstretch yourself, but if you look, you can find places where you can do different things, whether it's having that community golf program. There's always times within the golf course life of the week that you can get people on the golf course. You just have to look really deeply. So we do a rise and dine. The back 9 early in the morning is free because everybody's on the front 9. So if you want to come out and just do 9 holes and have breakfast, we give you a voucher for breakfast as well. There's ways that we're just trying to kind of create something new. It's great because it's those dads that, the wife's like, you better be home by 10 o'clock. And so, because the kids are up and whatever. And so we're just trying to find the need. It's kind of like I sold cars for a while, and it was like, what are people's needs? What is the pain point in their life? And you just try to match that with whatever you're giving them. And I think that's been the same on the golf side, and I think it's understanding what worked in the past, but trying to meet that need of what we see right in front of us every day. So
yeah, we've noticed too, even on the 9 holes, it's a lot better. A lot of people aren't into the 18 holes. It's a long round, it's 4.5 hours. And so the 9 holes has worked out really good for us with these specials we got going on.
So speaking of needs, how's the labor market in the golf world? Do you see lots of people coming in and then, taking programs at college, at Olds College, the turf program and stuff? Do you see that transition, or do you see a lot of people coming out in applying to your guys' golf course?
I don't know. It's been tough. Like we've had some ads out running for a while for the last few years, and it's tough to find guys out of Olds College right now. And most of those, some of those kids are actually, a lot of them are going to the BC, or they're going to, of course, maybe bigger and better, nicer our courses. But yeah, we've had the best luck at our course. We have good greenskeepers, but we just haven't had, students from Olds College.
Well, and when we were talking about you guys trying to create awareness in this industry, what I've seen is there's some interest. I know even so I had a kid outside service last year. He was doing carts and washing carts and whatever. And our greenskeeper saw that he was really interested in, cutting grass and doing this and doing that. And so he would love to be a part of the maintenance side and start to learn that way. And so what we've understood is if you can't get people maybe out of Olds or those programs, to try and build that internally. Some work, some don't, but it's neat to even see kids say, hey, I would rather wash carts and do this or do that. I'd rather be out cutting greens and doing that. And then, when you've got a great crew and some good leadership on the maintenance side, they can then take those kids that are interested in it. And you don't always get that, but it's neat to see. And I know we had one last year that wants to maybe move more to the golf operations and maintenance side and learn that, maybe that's a stepping stone for him going to Olds. He's just, I think, finished grade 12 last year. So that's kind of what we're seeing. And I agree with Mark. It's harder to find people that have come out of those programs because how big is that class and how many of those guys do you get? And some might stay around where they grow up and where they're comfortable at, and then go to, bigger courses and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, both Brea and I actually are Olds College alumni. Not the turf grass, I guess, side of things, but a good selling feature would just be your night golf. That'd be a good one. And honestly, like the year round too. Like it's a huge thing, especially for grads that are kind of putting in the time to go to school and to get this degree. A lot of them are always, the question is what about, like, what's your year round work look like? Because they've put in 5 years, whatever, into themselves, and then they're looking for that kind of home and not always having to bounce around. But yeah, we have the same thing. We're always looking for more educated people off the hop, and whether we make it work through internal programs or not. But yeah, it's very similar on our end of the industry as well, I guess.
One thing I didn't say, the maintenance side of things, it's tough to keep those guys busy all year round. But where it's nice with having the multiple businesses and the construction, we usually take those maintenance guys, those greenskeepers, and we bring them over here, and then they'll be doing snow removal. They'll be doing odds and ends around here with the construction business. That always helps out.
Yes, that's good. Yeah. And like you said, it's awesome to have those in-house programs, and now some of them are playing competitively, and maybe they want to look at, maybe playing competitively isn't going to be their end career. So then they start looking at employment at the golf course they grew up loving. So yeah, that's awesome. What are some future goals you have for the golf course, if there's any you feel like kind of opening up for us?
No, nothing off the top of my head right now. Jay, future?
Me, because of how we have a whole bunch of different offerings at different skill levels for our junior program, I'm really looking forward to creating an academy that will be year-round, to where we can support, actually. I've started a little journey with a couple of my staff called Jay's Journey. It's going to kind of follow my journey actually to the senior PGA Tour. I know I don't look that old, but in a year and a half, I'm going to try out for down south, try to make the senior PGA Tour. But, along that way, I coach a lot of golfers as well. And I see it in my own life, and so do they, that you need something year round. And so an academy to tie in all of the different things that we do to provide that opportunity for someone that might want to get into golf on a competitive side and maybe, try to play college golf, and see where the game goes. It's really hard. We live in a hockey world where people will hammer out however much money you tell them you need to play hockey, because we all think we're going to play in the NHL growing up in Canada. But golf's a little bit different, and parents just don't know where their kid's at and what it looks like and how to do that. So I know my future kind of plans are to create a Cattail Golf Academy to where we could have kids come in. I'm working with kids that are 6, 7 years old right now. It's amazing how much skill they have, and if you give them a little guidance and support. And then once again, it all comes into, tying it into a membership out at Cattail, making them feel a part of our community, and having them just there. And then what's great is they all come work for me when they turn 16. I've got actually some resumes on my desk of kids that started out in our Op 36 program. They've been with us for 5 years, and they're getting that age where now they got to get a summer job, and they want to come out and work for outside service. So, it's just about building that community and supporting them wherever they're at. And you never know, hopefully we get a PGA golfer coming out of Cattail. That would be great. The next few, well, it might take a little bit longer than a few years, but that's really what you're doing. You're just trying to create a community where people feel welcome. The parents love it. They love bringing their kids there. We've got a great restaurant, a great kind of area for people to sit on the bar outside, and we do all our lessons and stuff. So the parents love being a part of it as well. And yeah, so hopefully that comes to fruition. Something that I'm working on and kind of seeing what would work, and once again to meet people where they're at. So yeah,
I can definitely see you putting the academy through the ringer and doing all these drills, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, now it's time for some ice tennis. People, you got to start doing laps.
Hey, multi-sport athletes, it's the new rage, and we got there you go. I like that.
Maybe we'll see at the Olympics in like 16 years.
I like it. We've got an ice tennis team as well as a golf team that goes to travel to events. So I like it.
That's funny.
That's awesome. So if you guys were to do it all again, what would be some advice? What would be one piece of advice that you would tell your younger self?
They do the golf course all again. What would I do differently?
Well, it could just be even like because you have a lot of pies, Mark, that you have your fingers in. So it could be anything. But if you were coming in, that 18 to 20 years old, what would you say to that younger self?
Invest in Bitcoin, I guess.
Yeah, that's my answer too.
Yeah.
Scratch the green industry, invest in Bitcoin, buy yourself a boat to hang out on, and don't answer any calls.
Yeah, you'll be set at that point. And then we actually do as well. I love that answer because, that's a very realistic one. We've been asking our guests to basically propose a question for the next guest without knowing who they are. So from our previous guest, the question is where are your favorite types of open spaces to spend with either your children or any other, young people in your life? Like, what are some open spaces that you kind of have as your favorites? So obviously your golf course is included in that, but...
This is a favorite place I like to spend with my family, like an open space.
Yeah.
And this could be anywhere in the world.
Anywhere.
Okay. I'm going to say the lake. Lac Santi. Yep. That's the best place to go. Open space there. Kids love the water, love being in nature. So,
yeah, for me, I have a farm out by Andrew, Alberta. I'm not far from the Cattail, but it's kind of the place that I love to go and just be out right in the country and take a little time and relax. So there's no lake or anything. Anyway, and probably for me it'd be on a golf course. TPC Scottsdale. There you go.
Seniors PGA.
Spoken like a true golf pro.
Yeah, I know. That's what people think we do. We spend 6 months out of the year in Florida and Arizona. It's not real. I did just get back from Florida, so it's kind of funny, but anyway.
Well, gentlemen, thank you very much for carving out some time. I know you guys are probably busy because you guys are never not busy at Cattail. So thank you very much from both Alec and I that you took the time. We're not golfers. We might be golfers by the end of this. We might come and do a field trip out to see you guys, especially for nighttime golf. But yes, thank you so much. It was a joy to chat with you guys. Wow, they are like the definition of innovative for, creative ideas and making a golf course be a destination year-round in Canada. That is wild.
Totally. Like, the only thing that ran through my mind, well, not the only thing, obviously, hopefully a lot more than just this, how everyone has the same 24 hours in a day, and it's obviously not the same for a lot of people, but it's pretty crazy how much they're able to use every single available hour. Like, it's open during the day, it's open during the night, it's open during the winter. Like, what else is
I know. I was thinking, I was like I think I would like to put myself in the category of kind of an overachiever, I think. But I was like, I kind of feel a little lazy right now because I look forward to winter when I'm like, oh, I kind of have some more traditional timelines. And I'm like, hey, this is when I like catch up with friends and find that like work-life balance. I look at work-life balance as more of an annual thing, which I don't know if that's the healthy way to do it. But regardless, that's how I feel it's typical in the nursery landscape world. And I'm like, holy smokes, you guys go harder potentially in the winter.
Yeah, that's incredible. Yeah, like you said, like just empowering to have those ideas, and some of it works, some of it doesn't work, and you just try again. And your weather's not good, so you can't do a snow putt course. Like, all right, we'll try something different. Like, yeah, it really speaks to allowing people to have their creative space, and obviously it's got to make money, but yeah, that's incredible.
Well, and I thought it was cool because I definitely am someone that has that kind of image in my brain about what golf is that kind of like,
oh, totally.
Yeah. It's that proper white collar sport, I would say, is like, yeah. And that it's never been really attractive to me, mostly because honestly, I didn't think I had the time. I don't know what time looks like anymore after that conversation, but then I didn't have a time to do 4 hours. And it's one of those things
Totally.
where I don't think you just like pick up and you can be decent. Like, you have to really hone that craft or you're losing a lot of balls. But it's
11 colors.
11. Can you imagine? I would be putting that on a string. But like, these guys have made it really accessible and really fun.
Mhm.
Like, both with their glow golf and then their programs where they're exposing youth that might not have the same opportunity to come in and see what golf is like. Because yeah, there's a lot of barriers, both like with anything, equipment, but then green fees and stuff like that. So I love that. Yes, they're very entrepreneurial, but that they have that community and that connection piece also.
That connection. Yeah. I was gonna say it really speaks to that. They just love what they're doing. Like, obviously they're making all these business decisions for the business to try to stretch out that dollar. But it's also just to have fun. And like you said, to create that space where people love going. People are going there for pond hockey tournaments. They're going there for ice tennis. They're going there to play golf. Like, it's just kind of like a family destination. And yeah, like you said, like, yeah, I'm no golf mogul by any means. I've played probably like 6 rounds in my life, if that. And it's totally the thing. Like, it's okay, you got to make sure you wear this shirt and you can't take too long, or you can't go too fast, and it's all very, it's etiquette, and it's a little intimidating. Like, I never loved the atmosphere because, when I go outside and I hit things very poorly, I like to have fun with it. So it's awesome that they're kind of trying to foster that. And I think too, like, just that barrier for a sport, like, to actually consider it a sport for children, I think is up and coming. Because at least when I was kind of going through it, I knew a couple people that were like getting into golf competitively, but it's not a traditional route by any means.
And I now entering in this phase of my life of wanting that kind of social sport piece. Like, that's why I love skiing.
Yep.
Like, I love skiing because you get to chat on the chairlift, you get to be active, you get to be in nature, but there's that thing that you can still do. And I'm very fortunate that I have lots of friends that can ski or snowboard. And so what a great way to connect. And golf is one of those things. And
Totally.
yeah, I'm now at the stage though, like, yeah, I honestly just don't feel like I'm good enough, and I don't want to dedicate the time to get good enough. So I feel like I'm kind of missing that boat within my groups of friends. But yeah, if you had a course like Cattail nearby, I feel like that is a very inviting place to get into it. And I think Jason would be a hoot to have as your golf pro.
Oh yeah, hoot and a holler.
Hoot and a holler. You heard it here first.
Well, we got a second field trip lined up.
I know, we're going to be like, hey, we have a full season of field trips now that we got to do as our second season.
Yeah, that's definitely covered, right? For sure. Well, that was incredible. I love just learning more about the golf space too. I don't have much else to say on how delightful that was. Honestly, I was surprised in the best way possible.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect, to be honest.
Nope, and that definitely surpassed what I was expecting.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to us once again. And as we learn, honestly, just ourselves about various pieces of the green industry that are not necessarily on our front of mind. And so it was, another good episode.
Yeah, please follow along to all the CNLA socials, YouTube, Spotify. Follow us, watch every minute of every episode, download them, get our views up here, and we'll see you along for the next one.
Thanks for branching out.